project. And today Connie's going to tell us about the project and describe her vision and her plan for that. Mr. Timer, Kevin, she's asked for the green at 6 minutes, the yellow at 7, and the red at 8 minutes. Fellow Toastmasters, please welcome Connie Paus with her speech, We Were, We Are, We Will Be.
Try that again with your mic unmuted.
Didn't catch that part.
Technology, it throws us for a loop all the time. Fellow Toastmasters, the High Performance Leadership Project is a major milestone for me in my path. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the project, but for our newer members and for our guests, I want to provide some clarification. It starts with selecting a project. For me, that project is coordinating the Wild Oats 40th anniversary celebration. Then it involves selecting a working team who work through the tasks of the project. I have the B team working with me. That is Brad, who's putting together all of our member achievements, Bev, who's looking after public relations, the guest list and invitations, and Brandy, who is our venue person, provided, of course, that we can have a venue. Do any of you want to be involved in planning? You don't have to be a B name to do that. Just let me know, and I will certainly find a task for you. Secondly, I need an advisory committee, a group of people to talk about my leadership skills, my shortcomings, my growth, any obstacles that arise. I am privileged to be working with two distinguished Toastmasters, Veronica Schroeder, who is here today, and Laura Wingert. Both of these ladies are no strangers to Wild Oats. As well, I have Debbie Pitzel working on my advisory committee. She was our Toastmaster of the Year last year for Wild Oats and for Area 9. The project then requires that I consider my leadership style and skills. I have to create a vision and a plan. Then, as I'm doing today, I present that plan to all of you. Finally, once the project is complete, I'll present yet another speech to all of you, telling you how did it go and hopefully how I've grown as a leader. Now let's step back in time for a moment to 1981. In March of 1981, the world was a very different place. Pierre Trudeau was the Prime Minister of Canada. Familiar name, different gentleman. Ronald Reagan was the President of the United States. He actually was shot that year. Backroads, featuring Sally Fields, was a movie hit. Terry Gibbs had a hit song, Somebody's Knocking. And most importantly for all of us, Wild Oats chartered as a Toastmasters club. Wild Oats started at the Saskatchewan Wheat Pool with support from that organization. Not as a closed club, but certainly the organization provided support in terms of meeting room space and members. Over the years, Wild Oats has been a strong club in Division B, which is Southern Saskatchewan, and District 42, Southern Alberta and Saskatchewan. Our members have achieved many education awards. We've been contest winners through to the district, and we've had numerous leaders emerge from our club. Membership at Wild Oats has been up and down over the years, very much like every other club in our division. When I joined in October 1990, membership was at a very low level. If you could see our original banner, you'd notice that there's a little phoenix emblem in the bottom corner. And that's because Wild Oats rose from the ashes to survive to see another day. Anniversaries are something to celebrate. I remember that we celebrated 10 years as a club in spring of 1991 with cake and several charter members and past members at our regular meeting. We've marked all of our major milestones since then with fanfare, fellowship, and fun. It seems like just yesterday that we gathered at Tony Roma's to celebrate our 35th anniversary with many past and charter members in attendance, as well as a dynamic program. So in March 2021, we will reach our next milestone, 40 years as a club. And our plan is to again mark that occasion, to communicate where we've come from, to acknowledge where we are today, and to dream about where we are going. My vision for this event is the title of my speech. We were, we are, and we will be. I feel that the celebration needs to look at where we've been as a club. We have a storied history, and we need to remember our roots. While we may be small in numbers right now, we are still a force within our division and district. Our members do great things, and I have every expectation that we will continue to contribute to the well-being of Toastmasters. Now the plan. COVID has wreaked havoc on the planning process. Will we be able to have an in-person event? Will it need to be totally online? Is there a chance for a hybrid, a mixture of the two? The planning process is underway. We don't yet know what it's going to look like and what we'll be able to do. When will we celebrate? Our anniversary is in March, but we had some discussion about deferring to June with the idea that perhaps there'd be more options available then. In the end, the planning committee has determined that we should roll the dice with a March event. You'll hear more detail about this at our club business meeting next week. Brandy is exploring our venue options, and she's found a couple of very good possibilities. If you have any more ideas, please be in touch with her directly. And who will we invite? As I mentioned, Bev is looking after the public relations and the invitations. Of course, our current members are first and foremost part of that celebration. We have a list of our charter members and our past members with contact information for most of them. We intend to invite our district leaders, our district director or her representative, our division and area directors. And let me tell you a little secret that since we will be at least partly online, we have a big idea to invite the international president to our celebration. Wouldn't that be a wow? And Wild Oats has many, many friends of our club who will certainly be invited to celebrate with us. How are we going to mark our achievements? Brad's in charge of that. We have the archived information about our member achievements going way back to when we were chartered. Our first competent Toastmaster, that was the designation back then, was achieved by a gentleman named Jim Affleck in January 1985. So it took a few years for that first designation. The first distinguished Toastmaster registered by a member of Wild Oats, our very own Brad Corbo, in February 1997. As I mentioned, our club has produced many, many leaders, area, division, district, governors, and directors. We've had chief judges, contest chairs, convention and conference co-chairs, and many more. We have award winners amongst us, the Peter Francis Award, the District Citation, the District Director Award, and members who have been recognized internationally for their leadership in so many capacities. I'm looking forward to seeing all of these winners, these names and achievements showcased at our anniversary. Depending on the venue and what the event looks like, we hope to have decorations and food, including an anniversary cake. And of course, there'll be a wonderful dynamic meeting program. Fellow Toastmasters and members of Wild Oats are honored guests. Stay tuned for more information. Once those details are in place, I hope you'll all mark your calendars and plan to attend. It promises to be an event you will not want to miss. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Connie, for sharing your vision and allowing us to start thinking and getting ready to set the date or in our calendar so we don't miss our 40th anniversary. I've had the pleasure of participating in 31 years of those 40 years. So I have if my memory